Today, Russian forces continued with 9 missile attacks targeting both civilian and military sites in Ukraine, escalating the conflict beyond the front line and impacting residential areas and critical infrastructure. Throughout the day, Russia launched 9 missile strikes, 39 airstrikes, and around 30 anti-aircraft shelling rounds, highlighting the extensive use of long-range weapons focused on strategic Ukrainian locations. Over 25 residential areas were attacked, affecting regions like Kyiv, Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, Donetsk, Kherson, and parts of Vinnytsia, Dnipropetrovsk, Mykolaiv, and Sumy. These strikes underline Russia's strategic goal to damage infrastructure, disrupt transportation, and weaken Ukraine's logistics capabilities. Russian attacks on urban centers, including Kyiv and Zaporizhia, reinforce the ongoing threat to civilians in Ukraine's air defense response. These attacks have severely impacted civilian morale and added pressure on the government to maintain social stability and infrastructure.
Despite Russia's large-scale offensives, Ukrainian artillery retaliated strongly, particularly in Russian-occupied areas like Melitopol, Berdyansk, and Vasilivka. Ukrainian strikes have inflicted significant losses, including over 40 Russian soldiers injured in Melitopol, an ammunition depot destroyed in Berdyansk, disrupting Russian weapon supplies, attacks in Voskresenka injuring 30 Russian soldiers, and an additional 25 wounded in Vasilivka. Kherson remains a hotspot, where Russia is reinforcing defensive positions against potential Ukrainian counteroffensives. The presence of Russian guards, building and fortifying defensive structures around Kherson, signals Russian preparations for a major Ukrainian assault. Meanwhile, Russia began evacuating collaborators and their families from Kherson to Crimea, indicating Russian concerns about holding Kherson in the face of Ukrainian counterattacks. This move may aim to minimize casualties and safeguard Russian-aligned personnel against anticipated Ukrainian offensives. Ukrainian air defenses have demonstrated high efficiency in intercepting Russian drone attacks. Ukrainian forces successfully shot down 25 Russian Shahed 136 drones. These drones are part of Russia's economic and infrastructure targeting strategy, but Ukraine's success in intercepting them shows its strengthening air defense capabilities. The day's combat activities reveal intense escalation on both sides. Russia continues large-scale artillery and residential attacks, causing significant infrastructure damage. However, Ukraine's quick and effective responses, especially from artillery and air defense units, have inflicted substantial losses on Russian forces in key areas. The defensive strength in Kherson and successful Ukrainian counterattacks in Melitopol and Berdyansk indicate a growing advantage for Ukraine on certain fronts. With Russia evacuating personnel from Kherson, Moscow appears increasingly concerned about holding key positions amid Ukraine's advancing counteroffensive.